Good evening. It's Mr. Harris here, welcoming you back for the 21-22 school year to MASH. We're very excited to welcome you back to a year where we know there will be a return of hopefully many new opportunities, many experiences, many activities, things that some of you got to participate in last year. Maybe they were in a modified format, but we're hopeful that this year will resemble many of the things that we like and look forward to in our high school experience. It's also a time of great change at MASH, which I hope is exciting to all of you. Namely, the picture on the screen here over my shoulder does not look like that right now, as the front of the campus has begun to see some construction, and the rear of the campus is also about to begin some construction. So there will be construction on site throughout this school year and into next school year, and then there is an additional project that we are expecting beyond that will carry on throughout the high school for future years. But at the close of this, you will see a new addition on the front of MASH. Approximately next year, this time we would see that being ready to go. And in the rear of MASH, we will see a two-story classroom programming addition that will also involve a new student entrance, and you will see that in place late next fall towards the winter break. So again, we hope that you're ready to go. We have some information for you here in this presentation today. We want to encourage you to continue to be patient with one another and patient with yourselves as we move through this pandemic in hopes that at some point in the not too distant future, many of these things that we need to do and the conversations that we need to have will be in the past. But for now, we do need to work together. We need to stick together as a school community. I'll talk about that in a moment. And we need to do what we need to do to move through the pandemic. I'm hoping that the information that we share with you tonight will answer many of the questions that still remain, if you have any, and most importantly, get you excited to come back to MASH next Monday morning. One of the things we need to keep in mind is our health and safety protocols. They will not all look the same as last year, and that's a very good thing. We're very excited about that, encouraged about that. At the same token, we need to be aware that there are current protocols in place, and they may change throughout the year depending on situations occurring in our community, our state, our nation, and our world. The slide that is on the screen is the slide that was shared with you by Dr. Leidy, was shared with you and your families last week. And these are the current conditions as we are preparing for school on Monday, August 30th. Masks are required on school transportation for all. That is consistent with a Department of Health requirement throughout the state. Masks for students who are fully vaccinated are optional. Masks for unvaccinated students are highly recommended. So please pay attention to those things. Those things will come into play should we need to do any contact tracing. So again, if you recall last year at different times, we had to do some contact tracing and determine if people needed to be quarantined. We may need to do that again if we have positive cases and you were exposed. And some of the questions we'll come back to at that point from administration or health services asking if you're vaccinated, and certainly we'll be inquiring as to whether a mask was worn or not. Those things will factor into the need for a quarantine, if there is one, or the duration of the quarantine. I think most importantly here that I want to encourage for all MASH students, we know that one's health is a personal matter, and we need to ask that all 1,300 students plus returning to MASH respect that not only is it their personal decisions and choices, so is it for each and everyone else. And so we don't believe it's appropriate for you to ask if someone is vaccinated or not. We don't believe it's appropriate for you to ask why or why not they're wearing a mask. You made your choices and your decisions as a family, and we need you to respect that others did the same thing. We are a school community. There's a lot going on in our world, and for us to do the best that we can as a school, to stay unified as a school, as Wildcats, whether that is on our stage or on our athletic fields, but most importantly all day long in our classrooms, we do need to respect that many people have many different perspectives. You don't need to agree with those perspectives. You may not agree with those perspectives, but we do need to respect that we may not all see things the same. And I think if we keep that at our core, that we have our beliefs and our decisions and our perspectives, and so do others, and we can respect that they may be different, I think we can go a long way towards our goal here, which is to get an education and to prepare for life beyond MASH. So with that in mind, I want to share with you again that you've seen this maybe at different points, or at least in some discussions as you met with counselors and finalizing your schedules. But we do have a new bell schedule. It's actually fairly similar to last year and brings in some tenets of things we've done in the past. And that is we're going to have 4 periods a day. They similar to last year. Obviously, they will be longer because our school day is back to a traditional length. And so in the presentations, or part of the presentations that follow me this evening, you'll hear from Mr. Reedy, Mr. Geisler, and Mr. Bianchi taking you through some different aspects of this. What we're most excited about this schedule really comes back to you as a student. Annually, it gives you more choice, and over 4 years, it gives you more choice. Other things that excite us is that it allows you to keep your focus on 3 major subjects at a time as opposed to 5 or 6 major subjects at a time. And with that, we're hoping for a slower pace of life for you, and a life that is so fast with so many moving parts outside of school. And while learning itself might move fast in terms of what we're doing and how we're doing it, we're hoping that maybe fewer transitions a day and fewer classes to focus on can be to your benefit. Most importantly, we've worked with our teachers, and the teachers have worked so hard, and not just here over the summer, but starting back late last school year, to prepare. We want deeper learning to occur at these times. And so when we're not having as many transitions in a day, it also means not as many transitions in a given course, as you'll be in the course for 1 semester. And so deeper learning is the goal. So there are some other features there. You're going to wonder, what is IE? What does this day 5 mean? But certainly those are things that will be explained to you in subsequent parts of this presentation. I now will turn it over to the assistant principals to take you through each piece of the schedule. Thank you.
Hello, MASH scholars. It's Mr. Reedy here. I hope you had a great summer filled with rest and excitement to get ready for the school year coming up. For this school year, we are proud to share this new information about what we call Day 5. You're going to see this on your schedule. When we get to Day 5, it includes 2 shortened periods before period 5, 6, and then 2 shortened periods after period 6, which is 3 and 4. Students, you'll notice on your schedules, if you have a minor course such as PE or health, or study hall, or a mixed course, as you can see on this example schedule in front of us here, that on Day 5, how that will work is, since a student would be meeting on a certain course on a certain day, so in this student's case, they have PE on Day 1, they have health on Day 2, study hall Day 3, and mixed chorus on Day 4. When you look at Day 5 for period 2, the first rotation through would be the first cycle day. So that student would have PE on that first rotation. On the second rotation, so after you go through days 1 through 5, and then we have that second rotation of days 1 through 5, that student is going to have health during that period 2 slot. And then we go through days 1 through 5 again, and that's the third rotation, and that student will have study hall, so on and so forth. And then they would have mixed course the next rotation of days 1 through 5. We will walk you through that over announcements, and we will not have Day 5 the first week. We will have that the second. So we'll walk you through it. You'll get the hang of it as we get through it. Period 5, what is it? So this is a time where you have built-in programs that exist during periods 5 and 6, which only happen on Day 5. These classes and programs, they're for our music classes, they're for our special education department, where teachers will meet with their students. We have VOTEC PE, we have minor course offerings that happen during this time, and for the students that don't have those courses or programming, we will have study halls that are grade specific. So grade 9 students will be in a grade 9 study hall that is hosted by a grade 9 teacher. We also have during this time help desks, which will occur during periods 5 and 6. They are subject specific and grade specific. And although the teacher during that time may not be your actual teacher on your schedule, these are staff that are familiar with that content and will help you during that time. So Day 5, we're excited this year to have this offering for you. I could tell you when I was a student, it was hard to find time in the day to get extra help. And Day 5 allows not only programs to exist that would be hard to schedule otherwise, but it also gives students a chance to get the help that they need. As far as timing-wise, periods 1 and 2 are shortened on day 5. Periods 3 and 4 are shortened as well on day 5. The lunches occur during period 6. You can see that lunch A is 11:20 to 11:50. All first floor students will eat that first lunch. Second floor students eat the lunch B, the second. Okay, so I am excited for all of you this year. We're going to have a great year together. Can't wait to see you on the first day of school.
Hello students, I'm Mr. Geisler, one of the assistant principals here at MASH. I'm excited to start the new school year and want to just welcome you back. One of the exciting new things I want to talk to you about in regards to our schedule this year is what we call IE period. This is a great opportunity for students. This is a time period that'll happen after your 4th period class. It really will begin around 2:50 in the afternoon. And then it will run really until 3:30 when the teachers leave, but students will be able to dismiss throughout this time period as their transportation needs require. The buses will be loading and departing the building around 3:15, so that'll be a time that a lot of you leave, but if there's time that you need help or want to meet with your teachers up until about 3:30, your teachers will be available until then. One of the options that you'll have during this time is an intervention and enrichment time. Each teacher has 2 days during their schedule that they will be available during this time. Those times will be posted outside of their classrooms. So as you're walking around the building throughout the day, you can walk past your teachers' rooms and see what their availability is to see if it matches up with what you'd want to do for that day. When you see those signs, you'll also notice that there's a QR code on there, and QR codes are nothing new to us here at MASH, but as you go through the year you'll get more and more used to using those. But every day when you leave your 4th period class, you will QR code somewhere in the building. The same QR code is throughout for the 2:45 time, for that 2:45 dismissal from 4th period. And when you QR code there, like I said, one of the options is going to be the intervention and enrichment time. That is simply going to a teacher that maybe you need some help with, you want to talk to about something. You'll just simply QR on the outside of their room, and then the option will come up and you'll be able to just type in their name, and that's who I'm staying with for this period of time, and you'll be all set. Another option is athletic event dismissal. So this is purely for students that have competitive events, so they need to leave the building early. These events may happen a little bit before or after the IE period, and that's okay. You can still use these QR codes to scan for that type of dismissal as well. The option 3 is just a dismissal. So if you have no other obligations or you have no needs to go to see a teacher, this third option is just to be able to leave the building at this time. So while the official end of the school day for students is 3:15, the end of 4th period at 2:45, if you drive yourself, if you walk to school, if your parents are picking up, you do have the option for dismissal. Now, a teacher or administrator can assign you to stay during that time, which would negate you being able to leave at 2:45. So if a teacher says, I need to see you at the end of the day on Tuesday during IE period, you are then obligated to stay during that time until you're dismissed. So as I mentioned in the last slide, there are these QR codes outside of teachers' classrooms. As you can see here, this is an example of what that looks like. The 2:45 one, this is the end of 4th period, so that's why it says 2:45. Again, you have until 2:50 to be in place with a teacher. Another option for that IE period actually is also if you want to go to the Commons or the library. Those are other options that you can use for that as well. Same QR code applies. You would just QR code there, and again, put in where it is that you're going to be during that time. As many of you will remember, there is another QR code system that we've used for a couple years, and that is the late arrival and early dismissal. This is a different QR code, and it will be labeled clearly, so please don't mix this one up with the intervention and enrichment ones. The intervention and enrichment QRs are definitely going to be the bigger signs that have the teacher availability listed on them and the big 245 on the top.
Hi everybody, it's Mr. Bianchi here. It's great to be with you. Looking forward to the start of school like I always am, but especially this year. It's been great to feel the energy around the building this week. We had 9th grade orientation on Monday. We've had teachers and staff in all week as well, and just looking forward to the first football game this Friday and fall events. And the building getting back to the energy and the spirit that it always has here at MASH. So I want to extend my welcome back to everybody for the 21-22 school year. As you've heard about some changes to our school and our program this year, here are a couple of new ones about arrival and dismissal procedures. Our doors will open at 8 a.m. and students will have to arrive in first period by 8:20. If you need breakfast, you can stop by the cafeteria and eat it there, or proceed to first period and eat in grab-and-go style. In terms of afternoon dismissal, if a student is staying around for intervention and enrichment and need transportation, the buses will start to load at 3:15 and depart campus at 3:25 p.m. In terms of what arrival and dismissal looks like, here's our campus map accounting for our new construction in the front and back of our school. The buses will enter and depart campus from the rear of the school through the neighborhoods there, and the doors will be open in the rear of the school to enter and exit. Student drop-off should be here in the front of the school through the staff parking lot. Cars will loop around. It'll be congested out there, so we'll really have to exercise some caution. And students in the student parking lot will be the same as it always was. In terms of what the traffic looks like inside the building, there are not one-way hallways this year, but we are going to keep the one-way stairwells. And a lot of the reason for that is because there will be more students in this building than at any point in, I think, many decades. So the stairwells are the same. We kept them labeled the same up and down. So you'll see some familiarity there if you are a returning MASH student. This note is really for seniors. You were mailed this privilege form a couple of weeks ago. In your schedule, you may see senior alternative listed there. That means you have the privilege to come and go to and from MASH using the same QR code system outside of the main office that we've used for the last couple of years, which is not to be confused with the intervention and enrichment system. So we'll explain the difference there and a whole host of other things the first days and first weeks of school. So really excited to get back at it and to feel the spirit of the building again and MASH students, and I look forward to a great start to the school year. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed the information that we shared with you tonight, and I hope that information is exciting to you. Change for many people can be daunting, and we need to undertake it carefully and wisely with supports. And we will support you through this change on a daily basis as we adjust to our new schedule. We're also going to have to adjust to new traffic patterns and new entrances, but it's all in the name of development and growth, as our community has seen at all of our other buildings prior to reaching MASH. So just a couple quick reminders. The Sapphire portal for students will go live at approximately 6:30 today, Thursday, August the 26th, to see your most up-to-date schedule. While there could be some slight modifications yet before Monday, I would expect there to be very minimal. You will get a printed out copy of your schedule on Monday morning when you come to school. And so I do want to certainly thank our counselors as well. I mentioned the teachers earlier preparing to teach you in these chunks of time that we've created, but the counselors have worked very hard with you to get you a schedule that reflects the kind of programming that you need to prepare for your future. So I thank them. Monday, when you come to school, reminder, school begins at 8:20 a.m. and all freshmen will be reporting to the auditorium where we will have their advisor's name on a placard of sorts so they can find their advisory. We'll also have the advisories posted by the courtyard for all grade levels. Students in grades 10 through 12 will be reporting to their advisory location. So it's the same location you've went to last year, which we didn't do very frequently. We did it early in the year where we were face-to-face in advisory before we did it online. And so please make sure you get to your advisory location. Those two will be posted. So I hope you've gotten some good information tonight. I hope that increases the excitement for you, and maybe some of the information, I'm also hopeful, will eliminate questions that you have. It's going to be a great year at MASH. I look forward to seeing you all on Monday. Thank you and have a great night.